Hello, friends. How are we all doing today? I am making an update. It's been so long, and I had wanted to for like a week now, but things kept changing. And there's still some changing that could happen, but at least I know what my plans are for now through next Monday or Tuesday. So, there are some issues and I need some prayer. So I will really appreciate it if people pray. I'm not worried. God's got this as always. But my CMV is starting to go up again. And so far, with my blood draw on March 7th, it was up to about 1400. And I get drawn every Monday, but the results, because I live in the Willy Wax, don't always get back to my caregivers as fast as they would if I lived in Los Angeles and could have my tests done there. So the last test I have is the 7th. I was drawn on the 14th as well, and I don't know the answer to that one yet. But it's a real concern because it means that my virus, it went down to about 200 for a while, but then it climbed right back up, meaning that it's not responding to the primary medicine that they like to give post-transplant patients, which is called Valcyte or valganciclovir. You guys may remember that I spent a week in the hospital in January, 3 weeks in LA total, and a week in the hospital having IV ganciclovir, which is more direct route and stronger, and you're in the hospital, so they give it to you by IV, and they can monitor the side effects. And that treatment went great, and we were hoping it was going to take the virus down to not detected and stay there, but it did not. It only got down to 200, and now it's on its way up again, so it's time for another line of defense. Since the next line of defense typically would be 2 weeks in the hospital with a drug that is like chemo and makes you feel pretty crappy, and needs to be monitored in the hospital and has bad effects on your kidneys and everything, they're going to try a new drug. And that drug, the brand name is Livtencity, and the actual name is Maribavir, I think. Maribavir, I think that's it. I just looked at it, but my short-term memory is pretty much shot. So, anyway, that drug is being delivered special by FedEx today sometime, and I will start on that. Next week is the first anniversary of my lung transplant, for which we are all, myself, maybe, I don't want to say more, but just as much as you guys, I'm really happy to get to this 1-year anniversary, and not worried at all about little waylays along the road. Those are pretty much normal for the first year, and then normal still, but hopefully less frequent during the next 2 years. And then if you can make it to 3 years, usually you've got a pretty good chance of making it to 5, and then, onward and onward we go. And anyway, the percentages don't apply to individuals, they apply to the whole group. So I learned that from being, from thinking I was going to die in 2 years when I got my my lung disease diagnosis, because that's the statistics. But I didn't end up being in that group. So anyway, enough rambling on that. The drug will come. I will start taking it. Monday I have to be in LA, and I will have my blood drawn, and that will be after one, two, three, 4 full days, 4 full 24-hour periods of being on the new medication. So what they're going to look for is for my CMV to either stop increasing and then hopefully to start decreasing. And if that works, and I have to hang out in LA a little longer this time to make sure that it does work. One answer after 4 days of being on the drug isn't going to be sufficient. So I'm probably going to have a second blood draw at the end of next week that determines whether I can come home. If the CMV doesn't turn around by that time, I'll have to go into the hospital for 2 weeks for apparently what is for most people not a real fun deal, and very medically intense and lots of side effects. And but if that's what I have to do, I mean, you know me, I'm in it. If it's going to keep my lung functioning and keep my body functioning, and keep me going for a while longer, I'm going to do it. I'm going to stretch this out as absolutely long as the Lord wants it to stretch out. When he wants to have me home, then I'll go home. And I don't want any, like I've said before, I know it's an unrealistic request, but I want you to celebrate, because you will know that I have gone to my eternal home, and I will live there in perpetuity with my Lord and Savior. So, yeah, I know that people will miss me, and that makes me feel really good. But when you miss me, if this happens, that I do happen to go home, miss me with happy thoughts and not with sad thoughts, because I loved my time here with you, and I really, truly will be in a much better place. So, where's the lose? That's a win-win as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, so that's what's going on with me. Got to go back to LA next week, and it may turn into a 3-week stay. And yeah, I think that was pretty much all I wanted to tell you. As you know, I took a recent road trip up north and had a blast. And I'm going to do it again after I get back from whatever's going to go on in LA. And I'm also still working on my cross-country road trip. And the way that is shaking down is it looks like I will go the northern tier during the warm months across to Maine. And I plan to be in Maine and New England and visiting friends and family back there for probably all of July, all of August, and all of September. Isn't that decadent? I will spend a lot of time at White House Landing with my brother Bill and my sister-in-law Linda, and people who choose to come up and visit me there. And I will be driving around New England and visiting longtime friends and family that I have all over the place. And since I'm going to be on the East Coast, I will be doing some Appalachian Trail magic. And that is when you take goodies and you stop where the Appalachian Trail crosses the road and feed people and give them beverages and a place to sit for a little bit and then send them on their way. And naturally, since my favorite Appalachian Trail hiker is Circuit Rider, although I got a lot of Appalachian Trail hiker friends, and they're all wonderful, but this will be a fun way also for me to get to see Circuit Rider a few times during the summer, is by doing trail magic wherever he's going to be. I've got his whole hiking schedule, and where I can fit it in. I'll be headed south, possibly as far south as, Connecticut and New York State and and places like that. And then, of course, as he gets further north and it gets closer to the end of the trail, his tentative date for finishing the trail this year, Lord willing, is September 23rd. And then that, I'm hoping, I will be definitely at White House Landing when he goes through. And I'm hoping that I might be able to hike part of the mountain with him. My recovery and strength building has had some obstacles thrown in its way, and with the whole virus thing and other things that just have kept me from getting out as often as I really would have liked to. I do some walking, and I do my pedal cycle, and I do a little bit of weightlifting at home, but I have been pretty weak and shaky a lot of the time, and that tends to lean towards home exercise, which is wonderful, but there's nothing like if you're gonna hike, there's nothing like getting out and hiking for preparation. That's what you need, is the hike. So I'm hoping to be able to do more of that in the near future. And in any case, I'm still planning to be at White House Landing for the end of the trail, and hoping to throw a lobster feed, and people are invited. So if you're someone who's interested in attending that in September, the third week, then let me know, because White House Landing has some cabin availability. We're going to have all of the availability there is, because it's only going to be us there that week. And then there's tons of lawn space. So for hiker friends that want to come on in and set up tents on the lawn when we run out of beds, basically unlimited room. So, well, the 40,000 acre backyard. I mean, it's really wild up there. So there are many places that you can set up a tent, and then just, when you're done sleeping for the night, come and join the group for, different activities. So anyway, that's going to be happening in September. And then shortly after that, I'm headed back to Oregon by the southern route, which means I'm going to go down the East Coast. I have a lot of friends all the way down the East Coast into Florida. And then I'm going to come across the southern tier, because I have friends in Georgia, Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, all the southwestern states. I got all kinds of rock friends, got some friends I'm really looking forward to meeting face to face in Texas, and then up through California and back home. So in thinking about it, there's a chance I'm going to be away from home for 4 or 5 months. But I think what I'll do probably is, if things get quiet and there's not a lot going on at any one point, I might fly back here and just spend a little time at home and then fly back east. So we'll see how all that goes. It's just kind of percolating in my mind. But if you want to know my route and have a time when we can have a cup of coffee or a visit or go out to dinner or anything, I'm game for anything. Some people I'm staying overnight with. Other people I'm just having a shorter, I got to eat 3 times a day. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and stuff, that I have to stop for anyway. I'm just going to let people know. And, I expect that I'll hook up with some people last minute, as well as the people that tell me ahead of time that they want to visit. And I have brought some friends out of cyberspace and into real life friendship, and there are a couple hundred more easily that I'm hoping to hit up with this road trip. So that's you can just text me or Facebook message me, or just say I'm in on my Facebook page and tell me where you live, and I'll get you on the list. And then as I get closer to actually being there, and I know a rough time frame, then I'll touch base with everybody. So I'll need contact information, however you choose to get that to me. Yeah, so that's it. I'm not going to go on forever and ever. Life is good, despite the fact that I have medication side effects. Things are going good. I feel generally pretty well. I'm tired, and the next coming medications will make me more tired. And but with the goal of bringing the CMV down to 0 and having that tackled, then everything will start to improve, because not only do the medications all have their side effects and make you tired, but the CMV is like an Epstein-Barr or other kind of virus that has that group of samples, that group of side effects that include extreme tiredness, swollen spleen or liver, some gastrointestinal effects sometimes. The only thing that I haven't noticed that CMV affects is my breathing, which is wonderful. I mean, it makes me weak and trembly and stuff, but my oxygen sats stay in the 98, 99%. I get a little winded, but that's because of the muscular side effects and the fact that, it affects that. But as far as my lung goes, there's nothing wrong with it so far due to CMV. That's why getting rid of it is so important, because if we don't get it back down and get it to non-detected, it has been implicated in cases of chronic rejection. I have a frog in my throat, excuse me. So, a medically intense couple of weeks now coming up, hopefully with good results to get rid of the CMV, get me back out and about. And as you can tell by the amount of traveling I'm doing and everything, I'm not letting it slow me down any more than it absolutely is going to, whether I like it or not. So even though it's got me a little under the weather, it's not keeping me at home, and it's not getting me down. And I have all faith in the Lord that He's going to take care of this. And I will be keeping you posted. Lovely to talk with you all, and if there's anything I've forgotten to tell you, I will put it in the comments of this post. Love you all like crazy, and very excited about the future, and I'll keep you posted the whole way. Next week I'll be making posts so that everybody knows what's been happening and how things are going. All right, you guys have a fabulous weekend first, then the fabulous week. And tomorrow I drive to Russ and Cheryl's house in Sacramento, which is an 8-hour drive. And then Sunday I continue on to LA, which is 7, close to 8. So the next couple of days with one in between are going to involve driving. But they're also going to involve seeing my buddies in Lincoln, California. So I'm really looking forward to that. And guess what? They have a new puppy. So I get to spend time with a new puppy. And this will be the first time I've spent much time with a dog since I started scaring them away with all my breathing apparatus. That was a heartbreaker for me, because I love dogs, and they usually love me. But the hiss and click of the oxygen setup made them very leery, and I learned not to reach out to them because they just didn't know how to take me. You know what I mean? But I'm hoping that is now resolved. And every time I see a puppy that I can pat, I can go back to patting them. So anyway, like I said, I'll be in touch. Love you guys. I pray for you all the time. And I thank you so much for your prayers. Talk to you again soon. Bye bye.